Today's In the Know guest is an author whose latest book is filled with mystery and charm. Patricia Nimmo is here to share the story behind this new book, Tales of the Cat and the Bookstore. Welcome, Patricia.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. So I'll ask again because, as you can see, the title of the book as well as the illustration, there's a cat here. You're a cat owner.
No, never had a cat.
Where did this come from?
That was a venue I went to at a bookstore in Pekin called Tale of a Bookworm, and they have a cat in there named Noah, and he lives there. And when I met him, I thought, I wonder what he sees at night when everybody's gone, and what he thinks about people coming in and out of there. And and I just kind of put it on the back burner. And my other two books were nonfiction. This one is my first fiction, so we took a stab at it.
Yeah, I mean, quite the inspiration, right? So what was it like for you in comparison to the process with your first two books to write fiction?
Hard, very hard. You always have to think about the who, what, where, and when, getting that character from here to there. On the other two, I didn't.
Wow, you know, that's surprising to hear because you would expect something that you're making up to be easier to come up with.
And I'm sure some people do, because there's lots of them, but I found it very hard to, work on this and, go to the next chapter and, what are we going to talk about or write about then, where the other one, I was just holding a pen, and everything just kind of flowed out, because it was me.
Yeah. So you were inspired by this cat that lives in a bookstore.
Yeah.
So what exactly is the story you're telling here?
This is a story of, well, he doesn't have a name in the beginning. He's abandoned as a kitten and taken to the animal shelter, and then he's adopted out, and he figures that's his forever home, but it doesn't work out in his way.
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to tell you any more about that. I can't tell the whole story.
I got it.
He ends up back at the shelter, and he ends up getting adopted by Mary Beth, who owns a bookstore.
Interesting.
And he lives there.
Well, there you have it.
And he sees different people, and some people he likes, and some people he doesn't like. He's very wary of children. He likes them, but he says they have a hard touch. The little ones, so he kind of avoids the children's section as much as possible.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah, he'll go up on top of the bookshelves and walk along and just check it out. So.
Every cat's different, right? I've always been told it's different when it's your own cat.
Yeah.
So speaking of children, what would you say is the age range for this book, or is it for everyone?
I would say anyone can read it. I thought maybe young reader, maybe, not quite adolescents, because they get to like 12 or 13, and then, that's not for them. But maybe 9, 10.
Okay.
Start out 9, 10, but an adult can read it.
Absolutely. We want everyone to read this.
You
as
bet
many eyes
I do.
as possible. So where can they find this book?
You can find it at any bookstore in Peoria, the Tale of the Bookworm in Pekin. I'm online at Amazon, Walmart, Barnes & Noble.
Well, there you have it. And I do want to give a shout out to the illustrator here real quickly. Tell us about the picture.
The picture, my brother did all the illustrations
Your
for that.
brother?
Yeah, he's done it for the last 2 books. So.
Well, shout out to your brother. This is pretty cool. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, of course. If you or someone you know would like to join us here on In the Know, just head to 25newsnow.com, follow the Features tab, scroll down a bit until you see the form, and that's how you submit it.